Hello there.
Welcome,
Welcome,
welcome.
welcome. Whoa. Shane's
Oh,
feeling me a soda.
Yo, I was about to say y'all owe each other a little soda.
I'll get you a little Dr. Pepper. A little Dr. Pepper to make it all better.
this time we will do it together.
I was about to say that. So we have some news that actually just
Hot off the
popped.
press.
Hot off the press, right as we got into this. We'll kind of let some people stream in for a second. But we got Survivor and then we got Bad Batch to talk about today. I will say, I was a little worried we weren't going to have any news really after Andor because it's kind of been an area where it's not Marvel, so we're not going to have 40 different seasons or 40 different season 2, season 3, whatever to talk about. But luckily we have season 2 of Bad Batch, right? So, I think you guys want to talk about Bad Batch or Survivor first.
Survivor.
Yeah, that's fresh. Fresh
Okay,
meat.
I'll let you
Literally
guys take it away.
just freshly dropped. Perfect timing.
Yeah, do you want to go through it, Alex? Do you have it
Yeah.
on your...
Do you want me to pull it up? Okay, I'll pull it up.
I thought you had it up, but
Sorry. I'll pull it up.
God, what do we pay you for, man?
I know.
This is why we need to make it the Cat and Zach show.
Why am I here? Why am I even here? Okay.
This is actually just the Cat and Zach show, but we let you be here out of a courtesy.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I already expected. Okay. First shot. Go.
Nice.
Well, inside that tank, it's obviously Snoke.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know. Honestly, I can't even speculate.
Andy Serkis.
I have no idea who that person is.
It is very intriguing, and I hope it's not something like a disappointing reveal. I don't know. I hope he's an interesting, whoever it is. Why is he being preserved? Why is he
in a Bacta tank?
Yes.
What happened?
Oh, that's Bacta. Oh, I thought he was in some weird.
It is Bacta, right?
In the initial teasers, it looks like he's frozen in there, being preserved.
I think that he is, because he says something like I was betrayed or I was kept preserved or something. He says something along. I think I could be wrong. I only watched it once, but it's. I'm guessing he's not from this time period.
Oh.
Or he's from he's been in there for a little while, not like Old Republic.
Could actually be hype as crap. Sorry, the thought never crossed my mind.
Hype as crap. Put it on a shirt.
That would be sweet. But yeah, I'm kind of not disappointed that they didn't give us more. They gave us a little smidge more of what is up with him, the context there. But I hope that will be. I imagine that might be a bigger reveal in the game. I don't know. It's going to be hard to top, the reveal, the big finale of the first game. There's just something about that I don't think they'll ever be able to beat. But
yeah, I was gonna ask, do you guys think there'll be anything like that in this game? Where, I mean, obviously it'll, like you said, it'll be difficult to top that, but could, I don't know, anybody could Maul show up, or could anybody that we just don't expect pop up?
I'm excited about the Inquisitor aspect of it, but as far as anyone else,
oh yeah, do we see any in this trailer?
No. They don't even. They showed him in the first one, but they have nothing here. I think it would suck if that just means that he's very minimally in it, right? And they were just using it in the beginning as hey, look, Kenobi's out. Here's the Grand Inquisitor also, right? And he's just at the end or something. But so yeah, there's nothing in it with him. So, my internet's acting up.
Are we sure that's the Grand Inquisitor? Are we 100% sure?
What, in the tank?
In the first trailer.
Jeremy Cal Kestis, that guy.
Yeah, I mean, it looked exactly like him.
But don't all Powans look
like
that?
Species, but I'm looking at it. I don't know if it's him.
I
I don't
mean,
know.
are there other Jedi way more powerful that have done more than Cal at this point?
I agree that like it would make sense for him to come after Cal. I just don't know if that guy is him. It doesn't, because you'd think that they would have gotten Jason Isaacs to voice him or
Yeah.
the guy from Kenobi, but they didn't. And
Unless
it
like all
doesn't.
three realms are just completely different
That'd be wild.
lore, right? It would just confuse everyone. Who's this?
It's the guy we're trying to figure out.
Is this the same person?
That's Snoke, dude. It looks just like him.
So this is Andy Serkis.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Okay. Dude, my internet's like so shit right now.
I'm just glad that it's not like a clone of Cal. Like I remember when I first saw the first trailer, it wasn't really clear who was in the tank, and I was like, oh god, if it's like a Cal clone, I'm not gonna be
Ooh.
into it.
That'd be a little bit weird.
Yeah.
I don't know how I would
Oh,
feel
like we're
about
gonna
that.
start doing the whole clone thing again?
They always just touch on it and then leave it. It's like,
They're,
oh my god.
they're like, so this character works. Let's just duplicate him, and it'll be like doubly as good. And they're like, holy shit, you're right. But yeah, I mean, we get some gameplay.
We're
It's
gonna have to
like,
fly the ship this time. That's gonna be scary.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
I am not good at flying.
A thought I just had is, so they kind of reasoned through the whole like the power creep of Cal over the course of the game by having him be disconnected from the Force and like learning to believe again. I wonder what they're gonna do with this one, where because like he should be pretty powerful already from the start. So how is it gonna make you feel weaker and then
Oh,
grow in
build your
power?
skill points.
Yeah,
He looks kind of not. What's the word I want to use?
hold
When
on,
they
I gotta
released
reset my Wi-Fi.
when they
he's not very
released
swole.
the poster, and I guess even in those clips, he looks like he's been through it. Like he does not. Cal in game 1 and Cal in this game look obviously aged up a little bit, but something he looks jaded almost in a way, and he has like a new scar on his face. So I wonder if he had some like big life altering event or something major transpired after the events of the first game, like to make him, I don't know, go through it. I don't know. I don't know. Because he's clearly been on the hunt from the Empire. I imagine at some point he probably had some really bad altercations or whatnot that, I don't know.
Yeah, and we don't see Marin or the pilot. We don't see
Yeah.
them. And
And
Seer's
Marin,
bald now.
yeah, she got a makeover. I wonder what she's doing also. Like they clearly split up because he's more of a fugitive. You know, she
Yeah.
makes that comment to him like, "You're the most wanted by the Empire." So I guess she's been laying low and he's been doing something. I don't know. But yeah, I'm surprised there was no Marin because she was like a big fan
Yeah.
fave from the first game.
Dude, I don't know what's going on with my internet. It's like it's been so bad. Like the moment I got here, like the moment we went live, it's just everything is just like, oh, I don't want to work anymore.
That's how it goes.
Well,
That's a
anyway,
beautiful shot.
we can just do stills. Yeah. It's really interesting because I feel like, I was expecting gameplay. Like, I don't know if you guys saw like the Dead Space like remake. They did like 15 minutes of gameplay. So I was like kind of
Whoa.
hoping that they were going to do something similar to that and just show like, I don't know, the first 15 minutes, maybe a cool
Yeah.
cinematic, but it was literally just like another trailer just with gameplay footage, right?
Yeah, interesting you say that because they actually did do what you're referring to for the first game. They dropped like 10 minutes worth of gameplay from like the middle chunk of the game when he meets Saw Gerrera. Like that was a pretty early release.
Yeah,
Now that you say it, dang, maybe it's in the pipeline,
I'm
hopefully.
telling you guys, I don't trust EA. Like, especially after coming off of like how profitable the first one was. I don't trust EA. They have a horrible track record, and I wouldn't be surprised if this game sucks.
Oh no, really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
EA
like the second one.
sucks.
Yeah, they do fail quite often, and they do like once they develop a cash cow, like they really sink their time into something that's like really good. They're like, we're fine. It'll sell. We'll just get like half the team on this one, and then sell 1 million copies, and then we'll see what the next thing is.
Yeah, and
Right?
then we'll pump it full of microtransactions and stuff. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
EA. That's what they do. If it is good, I would expect it to be the last good one because EA cannot help themselves, and they will. Um, they'll pull an EA sooner or later because they've done it time and time again for the last like 15 years.
We got Thanos.
Yeah, we got Thanos. The guy on the left is Revan.
I know we're like he just like time traveled. We're gonna do a Marvel, and we're just gonna time travel. We're gonna go back to the
Oh
Old
my
Republic.
God.
Looks like the Sarah character is in Jagastanu's little cave thing. She was in. I mean, yeah, it kind of looks like the Jedi holocron or the Jedi archives. So
Mm.
maybe she grabbed a piece of that or something.
I will ask this. Do you think it's going to be on next gen, right? Do you think this looks significantly better or different than the first one?
Not really,
It looks
but I
about the
don't.
same,
Yeah, but
right?
I don't care too much. But you're right. It doesn't look that different.
Like
Yeah.
I see this and I see the first one, right? And I don't know if it's just like it's our eyes and like we can't actually see past a certain like realism or whatever. I know that Unreal has like a really cool foliage, however you say that, adaptation where it's like seeing trees move or seeing reflections of water or seeing water movement or seeing shadows is like significantly better than it ever has been. So that was a really cool video to see. Like you get like an in-depth like analysis about how easy it is to do that now. Before it used to be so difficult, and now it's kind of like a flick of a button, and it's like it's unreal, right? So that tech is there, but as far as like movements, I don't know. Did they do the same thing they did with The Last of Us here, where they have like the I don't know what that's called, where they have the whole gear on and they like shoot
Oh,
the
motion
scene? Yeah, motion
capture.
capture. Yeah, did they do motion capture for this, or was
I
it all?
think so.
At least for game one, they definitely
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
so they probably
did.
did it here. So that just probably means the tech hasn't evolved that significantly over the past couple years. When did the first one come out?
Like 2019,
Yeah.
Okay,
maybe?
yeah.
Something
So
like that.
I mean, you can't expect it to be like like you can't notice the difference between real life and the game, right? We're not there yet, but I guess I was expecting maybe it to look a little bit like better.
I mean,
It's still,
there are shots where like the light looks really good, and I think I would notice an improvement from the first one there. Like, but yeah, this looks aside from him with the facial hair, it looks like the first one. Also, where are the ponchos, man?
Oh,
yeah.
true. Maybe they just took it off for the gameplay sample.
Hopefully.
It's in his inventory, I hope.
We'll have to see well, when you actually play, we'll have to see like how the grass, how like the foliage looks, and how all of that, how the reflections look, and how the lighting looks. But I mean, obviously on YouTube, everything's compressed, so you can't actually get a full vibe of it if you have like the best system in play. But yeah, it seems like I was expecting actual just a guy up there with his controller playing it, right? That's kind of what you come to expect from these things. But I mean, it looks great, right? It looks good, but it looks like exactly the same way the first one did. It's just something that we wanted.
The graphics would be done by now.
The
A21.
graphics would be done. It
Yeah.
would be like
It's not a movie. Like they're not
yeah,
finishing CGI or anything.
yeah. This is
Ugh.
all. This should be done, right?
Yeah, I think at this point, I mean, I know almost nothing about game development, but what I do know is that the last like few months before release is spent like testing and fixing bugs and stuff.
Not touching up
Primarily.
appearance or anything. That would have been, especially I would hope by the time they drop a trailer, like they wouldn't include an
Yeah.
unfinished shot by any means. I'm not looking
Yeah.
forward to fighting whatever that is.
I know. There's a few in the trailer where I'm
I
like, I
know.
don't want to fight that.
I cringed at a few points as well.
It'd
I
be
was like,
funny
oh,
if they
God.
follow like Elden Ring's lead for some of the bosses.
And make
Oh
it extremely
God.
Yeah,
hard.
yeah. I like challenging games. I know not everyone does, but I like games where like it's practically impossible to beat, and you have to use like back in the day you didn't have YouTube or guides really, so it was just like if you didn't beat it, you just shelf the game and then came back to it later, right? Now you can just go on YouTube and some guy figured it out, right? But
Yeah.
I do like the idea of something that's so hard that if you can't figure it out yourself, you have to go look for something to figure out how they do it, right?
Ugh.
And that's something that's like, you using your brain and whatever. If you can figure it out all
True.
yourself, that's like more impressive, right?
I
Like,
forgot about
if you
all
think
of the
about it.
effing puzzles
Oh,
in this
yes, the
godforsaken game.
stupid one where you like roll the
The
balls. I
balls.
hated that one.
Did you
Honestly,
guys
like
ever... Oh fuck, we have a Charlie, can you guys get that?
We did it. We made it.
we don't. They're back, baby.
Find your love here.
Irrelevant. No, literally, actually, that's such a good point. I ask you this though, because I agree with your statement to an extent. If there's no challenge, then I almost don't feel like I've accomplished anything. But for example, when I was driven to the brink of insanity because I was on round 17 of trying to defeat Trilla, like how many times did it take you to beat her? I'm serious. Like, are you just better at games than me? Probably, but
No,
like,
well, you're pretty bad, Cat, but we won't
I
talk about that.
for me, it was oh, what's his face? The Jedi on Dathomir.
Terran Malicos?
Yeah, Terran Malicos. He kicked my ass for like an hour, and I hated that guy.
Did you guys play the hardest difficulty?
No, I was on
no.
story mode, and I
I
still
was-
was struggling.
I think I was on normal, but this was pre Elden Ring. Like I've played Elden Ring now. I beat Elden Ring, so I
You're
feel better.
conditioned.
Yeah, I feel. How hard could this be? Like Elden Ring was insane.
The problem is they don't tweak the puzzles based on your capabilities. The puzzles are going to be just as effing obnoxious.
Did you guys ever play Ratchet and Clank or Jack and Daxter?
Hell yeah, I
Tom
did.
loves Ratchet and Clank. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of puzzles in those too. And like looking back, like as a kid, they were so much fun. But like now I just don't have the patience to play those games anymore. It's really weird. Like I need like those like I don't know, like I'm more of like a boomer now with strategy games where I need strategy games. Like I can play a game for 8 minutes and then go and do something else, right? Whereas like if I get into Ratchet and Clank, you have like there's a level where it's all puzzles, right? Or there's a level of all puzzles in Fallen Order, or there's a level of all puzzles in Jack and Daxter, and like those are like platformers in a way, right? I guess I don't know that this isn't necessarily a platformer, but it's like it evolved from that realm where like they do have that that type of gameplay involved, and it's just one of those things where when you're a kid everything is fun, but now it's just those just aren't fun for me anymore, right?
I hate puzzles in games. Like I despise them.
If I do, that's the problem. If I do have to go and look something up, which I'm pretty sure I had to do on multiple occasions throughout Jedi Fallen Order, like if I do have to find a cheat somewhere or get a clue from somebody, I just effing hate that. It's not fun for me. Like the puzzles and shit was almost too hard in Jedi Fallen Order. So I hope they don't like amp it up in the second round. I would not be disappointed in the slightest if they took out all the freaking puzzles in their entirety. I would have a better time, frankly. Like it just I don't feel the satisfaction from having to cheat like that.
Yeah, it's like they need to add variation to the gameplay, right? That's like the whole purpose. And so it doesn't feel as linear, right? And the fact that we're jumping from planet to planet already doesn't make it feel linear. So if you just don't have any puzzles, I don't think people are going to be too upset about it.
Yeah.
Right? But
no, like if they add new, I'm pretty sure we didn't fly their ship in the first round, right? Like that's a new element of having to actually operate the ship and whatnot. So I'm sure now that Cal is seemingly acting on his own, there might be a few new things that we get to do.
Oh, Kevin Conroy's last VO appearance in Batman.
Yeah.
Wow. Thanks, Sal. I didn't know that. Shit. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead, Zach.
I was gonna say he's got a pistol now in this game, so I wonder how they're gonna incorporate that. He's wearing
if you pre-order it, you get a pistol.
It just makes the game way easier.
Yeah, it's like it's so broken you don't even need to use the saber. Imagine like Han Solo's blaster. Oh my god. Stand against the darkness of microtransactions.
Oh,
it says microtransactions right here. You just can't see it.
Aiden, we are the opposite. Aiden says, I would like them to amp up the puzzles, but I guess make it optional for players. Yes, to skip it if you'd like. Amen. That would be
Yeah, but
amazing.
that takes you out of the immersiveness of the game.
True.
Right?
If you
No,
just
well,
jump
you could.
over.
If it's like, do you want to play this part of the game? No, okay, let's just skip
No,
to the next part.
you don't have to do it like that. You can do it to where like none of the puzzles are in like the main like the mandatory like you have to beat this to progress. But you could have like I don't know
Oh, like side
Easter
missions?
like Easter eggs or like you can get gear if you do this puzzle or something like that. Like
Oh, that could be actually, you know what? I'm on par with that. Where like the main
Ooh.
story doesn't have it, but like to unlock things or to find like new elements like the docks where like you get to hear more about like
Yeah.
a secret mission or some shit, right?
To get a new poncho.
BioShock does that
hell
so
yes,
well.
cat.
Have you guys ever played BioShock?
No.
Oh my
Mm-mm.
god, they had like the recorders where like if you managed to get through like a certain area or like you found a secret area, there was like a recording of someone who was like at their last moments, and it showed
Ooh.
it showcased what the experience was like before we come into it, right? So like for example in BioShock, it's like an underwater city, right? So you walk into like this grand hall, but the grand hall is just ravaged and everything's just destroyed and there's shit everywhere. And you find like a dock where it's like, hey, we were all just hanging out, I was with my kids. I don't know where they are now, and it's just you hear like all this screaming in the background. Like it makes you feel
Yeah.
more like, oh shit, dude, right? So I would love it if more games did what BioShock did. I'd probably
Mm.
play a lot more games, but it takes a lot of time to make games like that now, and they don't have
Yeah.
the time, and they're forcing people to get things out as fast as possible for maximum,
Mm. That's definitely not a trope, I don't want to say, but an element of other games that I've played, like, but not to that extent. That sounds interesting. That has the full like experience, but I've definitely played games where you like find a journal or something and you read about, oh, this person was here, and it's like next to their skeleton or something like that. But that would be interesting. I mean, especially during this time period of Cal's, like I'm trying to imagine what's his goal, what's his motivation, what's his objective now that he already destroyed the holocron. Like that's not on his mind anymore, and he's not with Seer. Clearly, is he trying to protect kids? Like look for other survivors? I guess that could be hence the name, but that would be an interesting element, especially for this time period where he would potentially like encounter like Jedi relics or
yeah,
possessions that would have those kinds of memories from like Order
like a
66.
situation where like you can get more lore about what happened, right? It's
Well,
Yeah.
gonna be
didn't
like,
they had that in the first game, right? They had
yeah,
little
yeah, they
things
had
you could
little
Yes.
find.
pieces that you could find, but like if they really kind of go overboard, I mean not overboard, but if they do something in this game where you're really able to walk through an area that used to be just Republic territory, and the Jedi
Yeah.
were working alongside the Republic, and now all of a sudden it's just like a wasteland or whatever, and he comes across some things that you know like he gets to hear some transmissions or like some old like holograms, that kind of say, hey,
Yeah.
look, oh dude, it would just make it so much more fun, right? Because it's like, yeah, Cal's a great character and we love where he's going, but like we still love to get a little bit of the remembrance, right? And it brings more tragedy to the whole situation.
I mean, that was one
um
of the most pivotal, plot points of the first game that really like made us all love Cal like on a different level, like seeing his Order 66 experience, like that was a huge part, like that backstory and stuff from the first game and
what
being
up,
tied
Nick?
to the tragedy of the Jedi. So that would be interesting
Yeah,
if they can continue that in this one.
who dat?
Oh,
That man is, I guarantee you his name's Chad.
I think he
No,
says his name in that clip.
it's
He
Brad.
says like thanks blank.
Name's Chad.
My internet's too bad, I can't play it.
Put the subtitles on. Put the subtitles on. We'll read what it is.
Ooh,
Thanks,
Bodhi.
Bodhi.
Bodhi Rook. Cargo
He
pilot.
looks just like him.
Cargo pilot. What if that is? Oh man, crazy! Holy shit! He was just a Chad then, and then he turned
Oh
into
god.
Bodhi Rook.
That'd be interesting.
Part of the job, guess.
Like, like the lighting and everything still looks the same, right? And I don't know what is next gen. I'm trying to figure out what is next gen about. Like, I don't know. Does anything stand out to you in terms of next gen to you?
What even
Chat,
is
anyone?
next gen? I'm just like not with it when it comes to
Well, it's
is
like it's
next
gonna
gen
be
supposed to be
released.
like
It's gonna be released on the new PlayStation, new Xbox, and you have to have uh, higher like
oh
graphics card for your
yes.
computer to play it, right? And it's like, what is the purpose for having 130 gigabytes of space? Like, you need 130 gigabytes for this game, right? So, what
Hard.
about it is so? Is it like maybe the extra content that it has in it? It's just a big game. Sure, that's great. Graphics aren't always the most important thing, but at least from here, I can't necessarily point out what is the you know
I mean, it looks
difference.
pretty much the same. You're right. Like you could have shown me this still right here, and I would have been like, "Oh, it's from the first game."
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. I'm trying to keep myself in check because like The Last of Us just got that huge, like majorly noticeable like upgrade to their graphics. So, but I noticed that that was like a huge like transformation. So I'm trying to like, is it just me coming off of that and being like, why couldn't Last of Us or why couldn't Jedi Survivor look that good? But
I like how you said Last of Us because I have been on a Last of Us vibe lately.
ooh,
Yeah, I
yes.
I just hope I love the show, right? Because the characters in the game are just everyone loves them, right? And if
Mhm.
these characters feel like different or off-putting in any way, there's going to be some disconnect, and it's not the worst thing, but like if it's not you know, at least close to the game, there's going to be a lot of problems with like a lot of people, right? And
I still haven't played the second Last of Us game.
Oh, it's don't
oh,
even worry about it. Don't worry about
yeah,
it, Zach.
there are elements of it that are great. Like the gameplay is like really cool, and there's a lot of cool like elements you can do. But as far as the
Yeah,
story goes, it's
nothing beats part one.
yeah, number one's way better, and it's sad, but
I heard that they killed Joel like early on, and I was like, "What? Like, why would you do that?"
Spoilers. I know it was the biggest what the F
dude, the
moment I've
guy
ever
the guy
had.
went through the ringer in the first one and survived, and he dies so easily in this one. For stupid reasons, right? Like he should
Yeah.
not have done what he did to get killed, and that was what everyone was pissed off about. They're like, fucking Joel would never do that. And this was just like a way to like get him out of the picture to make way
Yeah,
for like the new characters. And that was what everyone had a problem with. It wasn't about like, the lesbians or like the multiracial character.
Oh, not at
That wasn't the
all.
problem, right? Because
Not
there's
at
a room for all
all.
of them. It was the way it was written and shoehorned in just because, right? It almost seemed like it was an afterthought. They're like, how do we get rid of him? It's like, well, let's just have like other people betray him because like that seems like something that makes sense. It's like, oh yeah, sure. But it's
he
like
was like the most loved character from
he
the
was
first
one of
movies.
the greatest written and just sounding characters. Like I showed my mom, there was an edit, like an 8-part like TV show edit. There were 20-minute episodes of the part one, and it like kind of condensed like all the cinematics and like parts of the gameplay to kind of add cohesion.
Oh wow.
And it was like a beautifully made like 8-part series. Like it felt like a TV show. And there was like he made like a bespoke title card, like title sequence that
Oh
was
wow.
like it totally fit, and it was like one of the greatest things I've ever seen. So I'm like, I wonder if I show this to like my parents if they'll like it. I showed my mom like the first couple episodes. I had to go to like I think a baseball game or something. This was a while ago, and she ended up watching the next like 6 episodes after I left, and she was like, "Poor Joel and Ellie, like their story's so sweet. Like she's a big book reader, she doesn't play video games, she doesn't do anything, and she loved those characters, right?" And that was just testament to how well written they were. And there was a big disconnect in the second one. Like it was
Oh,
completely
well,
different.
not just that, but the fact that they pour salt in the wound by then having the audacity to believe that I, as the game player, would want to, for a second, play as Joel's murderer, Abby.
Yeah.
Like, that was the biggest, like,
Oh
you can't
yeah,
get
I
into it.
forgot about that. Oh
Yeah,
my
you can't.
god.
It's like the whole appeal of the first
I
one is
forgot
you're so
about
right.
that.
The relationship and the fact that you love both of those characters deeply and you can switch back and forth. Like even when you switch from playing as Joel to then going as Ellie when she has to take care of him, she's freaking a
Yeah.
boss in her own right. You're not like, oh, I want to go back to playing Joel. Like you love them both by the end of the game versus the part two. You were just like, why am I even doing this? We were just playing to get it over with at a certain point because it felt so much just longer and more painful having to play as that.
It
This is
would have been.
personal.
It would have been like if Game of Thrones tried to make Joffrey like the main character in
Oh
season
my
2.
god.
After like Ned's killed, it's like, yeah, you love Joffrey, right, guys? It's like, well,
Yeah, it would be like the
not
next
like
season.
that.
Yeah, like the next season is like he's the king and everyone loves him, and it's like, wait, why? We didn't see any of that happen,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, it would be some. I guess it is similar to that, right? And it was just, it was an example of what not to do with a part 2. So hopefully this part 2 proves us all wrong, right?
They kill Cal off.
You actually
We were
play
joking
as
about this. me and Zach were like, yeah, it's like the first, I don't know, 2 missions are Cal going and then he just gets killed by Vader and Vader laughs at him and then it's all about following some stormtrooper through the Death Star.
Oh
And
my
it's
god.
actually, if they made like a spoof game of what's the robot chicken stormtrooper?
Gary.
Yeah, Gary the stormtrooper. It's just his life, just
I'd be down.
whatever. Yeah. Oh,
Someone
fuck.
I wasn't
We clicked that at the
offended
same
by
time.
it. It didn't
Just
seem
watch someone else play both. I wasn't offended by it. I watched streams of both back to back. I didn't seem off to see Joel die. Well, so Joel dying isn't the problem. It was the way it was done. At least in my opinion, I felt like Joel was one of those, like, he was an obvious father figure. He was very smart at what he did. He's been through the ringer. He knows what to do and what not to do. The first one proved time and time again, you don't trust these people. You don't trust anyone, right? And then he just goes ahead and trusts like 5 random figures. And I don't want to like say everything because what if people want to like actually watch this, but
yeah.
he does something that's uncharacteristic to his character from the first one, right?
Character.
That was the
Anyway,
big one.
let's get back to Star Wars. That thing looks like I'm
Oh
not
my
looking
God.
forward to fighting that.
No, what in the
Watch it be
world?
like just so you slap it once and it dies. It's just really big, so it scares you.
You ever wanted to fight a hippo
He-
rabbit thing?
He throws his saber a lot in this. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Yeah, you're right.
He's thrown his saber like 3 times in this.
I mean, that was one of
trailer.
my favorite tricks from the first round.
Yeah, it's just I feel like Vader should always have that. I'm just so used to Vader only doing that, but whatever. It's all good. Let me just see if my fucking internet can load the fucking each frame. I'm still at 1 bar. I don't know what happened. I'm gonna have to reset my router after the stream. It's pissing me off, but
First world problems.
literally.
Look at that's a man. He's fully grown now.
Seriously, the beard, everything.
His hair's impeccable as always.
He just has good hair in general. I don't know if it's just genetics or he has had a hair transplant, but he has such good hair, man. He's always had good hair. Like ever since I watched him in like Cat, what's the show? Shameless.
Goth, yes.
Yeah, his hair has just gotten progressively better with age, and it's like, how is that genetically
He's
possible?
blessed. I am curious because I don't think it's any secret. I feel like even Cameron Monaghan has dodged around questions alluding to whether or not he will make a live action appearance as Cal Kestis at some point in the future. I would not rule it out. Like, I'd bet money that that's a possibility. I'm curious because that wasn't, I don't know if that was necessarily something on the horizon for the creators last time, not knowing how beloved Cal would become. Like the prospect of him entering live action, like I'm wondering if they might have to be dodging around certain things or setting him up somehow. Like, do you guys think this game might be impacted by the potential of him becoming a live action character at some point in the future?
Well, I mean, I already had someone do a fake thumbnail of him in Kenobi because I was like, oh
Oh,
who
yeah.
knows, right?
Throwback.
I always kind of saw it going that way because of how successful it was. I don't know if they predicted this, right? I don't know if they predicted him to be so beloved. I figured they probably saw him as being like a side character in like their gaming area, and then everything else is going to be in film only, right? So we're going to know about the lore. He's going to be like a comic book, right? A comic book character, right? It's like it's separated, right? Like we know about him. We have all the lore. We don't need him in live action because we know about him over here. They're not going to put the money towards it, right? But who knows, right? I mean, at this point, they might do it, honestly. But I mean, yeah, I will agree with you, Bar's Basement. Yeah, at first it was very jarring, but like I think the idea that he's in video game form makes it a little bit easier. But once I see him in live action, I'm gonna be like, dude, is this guy gonna go rob something with his brother? Right? I'm just like
Oh my
so
god.
I'm so convinced that he's so typecast for me in Shameless because there's 8 seasons of that show with him, right? So
What's
it's
funny
gonna.
is that I never watched Shameless. Like my introduction to him was Fallen Order, and I know him as Cal, like his character in like they're two completely different characters, correct? Like Cal and his Shameless, and even his character in Gotham because he plays the Joker in that show, correct? Or he has a different name, I think, in Gotham.
Oh yeah,
But
he plays the Joker. Yeah, that's right.
yeah,
He
like
plays the Joker, but
yeah,
we can't say it's the Joker because we don't have the rights.
yes, exactly. So it was like reverse scenario for me when I saw like clips of him in Shameless. I was like, what? Um,
This like rights bullshit is so annoying. Like the what you can and can't say in the IP in your show, it's like it's so annoying. I'm so sick of
Jerome,
that.
that was his name.
Like just don't even do it. Right? If you can't call him what he's obviously called, same with Lord of the Rings. Like if you can't call them their names, just fucking don't do it. Don't do it at all.
Yeah, Gotham was one of the 2 shows that like um the sunk cost fallacy, like I just like ripped that band-aid off. It was Gotham and The Walking Dead. Like at a certain point, the writing just got so bad that I was like, I can't do this anymore, and I just
Oh
stopped. I
no.
just stopped
Yeah.
watching.
Yeah, I stopped Walking Dead after the third after the prison. I don't know if that was the third or the fourth, but
There's
I
like
stopped
Four.
watching that.
15 seasons, right? Isn't it like just about to end? Did it did end, right? It's over.
It's over now, but they're having spin-offs next year, so it's not really over.
It's done.
It's
It's
over.
over.
He was also, oh my god, he was also in Malcolm in the Middle as a little kid with ADHD. But that was him. Oh my god, that was him. I always thought of him as that annoying ginger kid. I did not know that was Cameron Monaghan. Holy shit,
Your whole worldview is now changed.
dude! I've seen that show like 3 times now.
Oh
I
my
haven't seen it
god.
recently, but I do remember exactly who I was talking about. Holy shit. That's so funny to me. It's so funny to see like big like if actors come up in their career and they become like the main protagonist of something or the main antagonist of something. You're like, oh yeah, he was that one character in that old show in the early 2000s or the late
Yeah.
90s, right? It's the funniest thing ever.
Seeing what
love
like
that.
their first jobs were before they had their break.
Yeah, that's so fucking funny, dude. Okay, let's see, who's that?
That's Snoke.
An enemy.
Oh, it's Snoke. Who's that? Thanos still?
That's
was Thanos.
Thanos.
So we're combining Marvel and Star Wars. That's the important thing.
That dude's skin color does not look like a healthy shade. Like
He's like gray.
Yeah.
Could just be the lighting, perhaps.
Hopefully for his
Well,
sake.
he's purposefully that dark, so I don't know what his character is going to be, but it is interesting to see. It's cool that we're gonna be killing droids.
Oh, I didn't even
Right?
freaking notice that.
Yeah,
Holy
there's
shnikes.
multiple scenes I think in the trailer with
Or
droids.
it's mostly only droids actually.
Yeah, there's
Oh.
a B2 battle droid, super battle droid on the left, and then those are just B1s.
They wanted to like make it like prevalent that hey, look, you're gonna be fighting
Ooh.
battle droids, kid. So gear up, prequel fan. You're gonna have some fun.
At least we have a lightsaber. I can't stand freaking fighting droids with just a blaster. They're the skinniest freaking target.
Yeah, he could be Umbaran. Sal, that's an idea.
Oh, yeah, but he's not purple.
They're not purple. They're gray.
Or no, I was thinking of the other ones. Who are the ones that are blue?
Which ones?
That one arc where it was like they had to protect one of the senators who was that race.
Pantorans.
Pantorans. Okay. I mixed them up with like because then the Umbaran arc was the one with Krell, right? Or am I wrong again?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, the most infuriating.
I mean, he
You're-
has a point, dude. The more and more I watch that, like, if he would have like joined forces with like
Just
if Dooku
stop.
was
You're
there
gonna
with
you're
them-
gonna get us canceled, bro.
This is not gonna go the way you think.
Oh
What's
god.
funny is we would not have Rex or any of them anymore if Dooku was there, right? So
True.
Yeah.
Do we want to
I
touch
will
on?
say
BD1.
I showed Amanda like the whole game, right? And like the cinematics and everything, and she knows the whole story, and she loves this droid. This is like her
BD?
favorite droid. Yeah.
Who doesn't? He's
She
great.
we got the at Costco, they had the animatronic Lego BD one on sale. It was like
Oh,
really cheap. I don't know how much they normally are. I don't remember how much we got it for, but we got it for relatively cheap. And I still have to build it.
Bomb Girl was right. Now that Book of Boba Fett is over, I can safely say, what on God's green earth was the point of having that BD droid in there to tease us all, other than for the Fallen Order fans to be like, "Oh my God, is that BD?" Do y'all
Yeah.
remember? He's like
I
in.
barely remember.
He's
There
in
was
what's his
that
face's
there was that
shop.
one droid, that one Imperial droid crawling in that one trailer that was from like I remember that specifically. I
Oh
only knew
yes.
about it because there was like this RTS that Star Wars used to have called Galactic Battlegrounds, and that was one of the droids that you like were killing with the Empire. And like I knew that specifically from that game, right? And then I was like, "Oh, that fucking droid's in it." And then we saw him for like a brief second in the show, and it really didn't matter. I thought we were gonna get some like deep Empire lore and everything, but it just
You
it
know.
was a very lackluster show, to say the least.
Do we want to segue to? I almost forgot about the Bad Batch. We're talking about Clone Wars and whatnot.
Yeah, we can segue. I think that about covers it, right? Are you guys excited? We'll close
Oh
out. Are you guys
yeah,
excited? Yeah,
I'll freaking play it.
yeah. I was thinking about streaming it, which means like we're like determining on whether or not we stream it on here or not.
You should.
I'm still debating.
Come
But
on. Put your gameplay online so I can make fun of you. I put myself out there.
oh, you will not be making fun of me. That's all.
Oh,
You'll like go into it expecting to like, wow, let's make fun of him
okay.
because he's such a dick to me, and then it's like, oh shit, he's actually playing the hardest mode. And he's doing really
Okay.
well.
Put your money where your mouth is.
Alex is as powerful as Master Windu and as wise as Master Yoda.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
I've been meaning just to like make a gaming channel so I can.
You
Show
know what
people
you
how I
just
game.
did? You took my expectations and you put them up there. So that's you set yourself a high bar.
It would be 90% StarCraft, dude.
I know, and you guys wouldn't know what's happening, but you would know, holy shit, like that looks like he's doing something that matters. But if I did play Battlefront for you guys, you would see me fucking get 30 plus kills a game in Team Deathmatch or whatever
I don't believe
that
you.
mode is called. Me and Colin used to run that shit. I mean, he wasn't very good, but I carried him and we just demolished stuff. It was like the best time. And then I stopped playing it, but you know, shit happens. Okay.
So March 17th.
March 17th. I'm gonna pre-order it, I think, soon.
Don't pre-order it. Don't pre-order it.
I need to get the special blaster that I'm probably blaster skin that I'm probably never gonna remember to use.
Seriously though, don't pre-order it. I'm telling you, like it's EA. You can't trust EA.
No. I know, but it's gonna be a write-off because it's for the channel, so it's okay. What are we watching again? Bad Batch.
The Bad Batch.
Yeah. Make sure, Kat, when you file your taxes, you make note of write-offs, right? Everything. Can be
I
a
do
write-off
that in
when
every
you're a
other
YouTuber.
regard. I just never thought about like gaming.
Yeah, because like I mean, you do that on that channel,
Yeah,
right?
I do.
And everyone loves to watch you play. Watch you be like, oh shit, I died again.
You know what? Taxes this year. Let's get it. All right. Did anybody else think I clicked on this and thought I was getting punked? Because this does not look like it's the freaking crab rave setting. Does anyone know what I'm talking about?
Hawaii.
Rave.
That song? Nobody knows what I'm talking about. Somebody in the chat, please. Crab rave? No one? You've never seen it? It's just a
Is
bunch
it a
of
meme?
It's a YouTube video. It's a music video of like animated crabs just dancing on this island.
I've seen this.
Oh, 10 hours of crab rave.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's the song of our generation. But I thought I was being punked because I thought we were entering the crab rave video.
Just so you guys know, the context of this island is whether the theories are it's either Fire Island, right? which was like where the fire festival took place and everyone,
Oh.
lost their money, or it's Mr. Beast Island that he gave away to a fan, right? And then the Bad Batch found themselves
No.
on top of it, and they were,
This is the
making their
heist
waves out.
that they are pulling out.
Yeah, so
Pulling off.
that one of Mr. Beast's lucky winners happened to live here, and they came in. He had like a holocron or some shit. So there's that, or it's just some random island in the lore of Star Wars, which could also happen.
What could be going on there? That was my initial question. I'm like, what's going on?
This is probably some dumb side quest that Sid sent them on in one of the stupid filler episodes.
It's all Sid's fault.
I hate Sid. Like, honestly.
I fucking hate Sid.
I'm just gonna come out and say it. Fuck Sid.
I will say I liked your Pirates of the Caribbean reference in the video earlier, but this is them running away. This is Jack Sparrow running away from.
Where's the rum?
Yeah, why is the rum gone?
I'll not leave without Jack. Time to go.
I can't leave without him. Oh, the trailer version of that line is so much better. Is it what does he say? It's either time to go or let's go. There's like two versions.
Time to go in the movie. He says time
okay,
to go.
so he says something else that's really funny in the trailer. Well, look at the trailer for the original. That line is so much better than what's in the movie. But anyway.
Seriously, Charlie, Sid is the worst. Like, not only does she waste their time, but she's just like, she never has anything nice to say. She's just such a jerk to everybody.
Yeah, she's frankly, if they had made her more likable. All right, I'm trying to keep myself in check. Okay, is this internalized misogyny here? I don't know.
Yes.
I'm like, if they had made her nicer, but I sound like all these guys who complain about female characters.
Kat, what are your thoughts on Rey?
Rey! Underpays them. She does. Right? Like, I'm surprised. Why did they go back to her? They just had a life-altering experience watching their home planet die. And now they're like, well, let's go rendezvous with Sid. I'm just so curious.
And like, the whole reason it was so stupid that they were in her debt is because they like ate and drank too much. And it's like, she's like, oh, you've run up quite a tab.
God.
Now you have to pay it back. It's like, this is so stupid. Like,
I forgot.
You must pay the toll, troll.
Yeah. But I know what you're referencing, but like, it's like they didn't know what else to do, and they had like no ideas for the main story, so they're like, let's just burn 6 episodes having them run errands for Sid, and that like it drove me insane. Like waiting a week to watch that.
I wonder if they were like thinking, hey, Mandalorian worked. Let's just do that same shit.
It barely worked. I don't even like it when Mandalorian does it. Really, like
the first season was good, but I would rather them not do that for the 3rd season because that's gonna really piss me off.
Well, that's what Tony Gilroy was saying in his interviews regarding like the sequences of Andor. And I'm not saying that he was addressing this to subtweet the other shows, but he described it perfectly. He was like, episodes don't have to be tied up with a bow by the end. Like, it's an ongoing thing. And I was like, that's exactly what happens in like Mandalorian. Like, at least season 1, especially. Season 2 was better. I hope season 3 continues to not. I mean, this is all a personal preference as well. I know people maybe feel differently, but I prefer. I can't stand when it's just like start an episode, blank slate, resolution, finishes that, done, next episode, clean slate. It's like I can't get into it. I need some continuity.
Yeah, you don't feel like you're building towards anything. It just, like, that's the whole point of a show, is like progression. Like, each episode is supposed to build on the next. I've always hated when shows do this. That's why I don't watch like procedurals, because it's like every week it's a new, like, oh, it's a new criminal we have to catch, and the characters don't change at all. And by the end of the episode, the criminal's in prison, and the characters are like, good job, team, let's do it again next week. It's like, this is awful. Like, I want my characters to develop. I don't want them to be doing the same thing every week.
If it's done well, for example, like, I'm a huge fan of medical procedurals like Chicago Med, Grey's Anatomy, but
A Good Doctor.
Yeah, like they do that. They handle that well, and you do get to know the characters, and they have. There are subplots.
What the fuck is happening?
You look very blurry.
Don't ask.
You're looking well.
Oh, they partially messed it up by bringing Grogu back to
fell
Din.
under the weather.
Anyway, sorry to interrupt you, Kat.
No. I'm intrigued. Stanley's makes a really good point that I always forget about. Like, what's going to happen to the poor souls who didn't watch Book of Boba Fett and then they watch Mando season 3 and they're like, what in the world how did this happen? Do you guys think they're going
Yeah.
to address it at all?
I think they'll have before the first episode starts, they'll have like the like last week on blah blah blah. They'll show that.
Yes.
They'll be like, "This
A
is what
replay.
happened," and you're like, "Well, fuck, that sucks. I didn't get to see that because I didn't care about that show."
Yeah, but I agree with the Stanleys. Like I was really upset that they brought like what was the point? Like it takes all the emotion away from that season 2 finale. Like it.
Yeah.
I
I
thought that.
stopped for nothing.
Yeah, like I thought that they would be apart for like a season or like half a season, but it wasn't even that. Like they're gonna be together in the premiere of season 3.
I have a question for you guys because I know that this was I don't know what to make of it, but I know it was a point of drama this past week. At least in some corners of the fandom that I saw the
Bricks and
episode.
screws. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh
ahead.
God, I hope that's over.
It should be.
They released the episode writers list for Mando season 3, and essentially all of them were Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, and like I don't see a problem with that. And like I remember being relieved hearing that like Deborah Chow was going to be writing Kenobi because it would have a more unanimous, feel. But
Right.
what do you guys make of it? Because that seems to be a point of discourse that people were discussing. I'm not trying to say that it's a bad or good thing. I'm just curious what other people think.
The writers were released or the directors? Because Deborah just directed everything. They had like Joby Harold who did most of the writing.
I lied.
We had a long conversation about Joby Harold.
No,
I see Joby Harold in my nightmares.
Oh God. No, let me pull it up. Thank you for correcting me, Zach. Yes, that was I think it was the list. Here it is. Season 3 writers revealed. And it's everything written by Jon Favreau.
Oh yeah, that one. Yes.
Yes.
And there's like one where he collaborates with like another director only 2 times, right?
2 are with Dave Filoni and one is with Noah Clore. Kloor.
KUSI.
He collaborates with someone known as Fawn Javreau.
He just puts on like a
mustache
beard or a mustache or whatever. Yeah.
He's wearing a mustache over his mustache that he already has.
Yeah. It's like, I am not Jon Favreau.
Oh my God.
Oh, oui. It's like, wait, what?
So Jon Favreau is like perplexing to me because he can be really good, but he can also be really bad. Like for example, like he can do like a movie like Iron Man and it's really good, but then like he can give you Book of Boba Fett and it's like that's not great. So I don't know, Kat. It's a toss up for me.
I want Tony Gilroy.
You can't have him, Alex.
I want him. Give me him.
We should have a heist.
He's like right here all tied up.
We're gonna kidnap Tony Gilroy.
Star Wars for me. Yeah.
Write the 3rd season of Mandalorian.
Write it now. You have T-minus 2 days. Do it.
And redo Kenobi while you're at it.
Yeah.
Oh, this sounds like George R.R. Martin fans harassing him to finish the book. It's like, write it. Finish it now.
Pretty much is.
Do you guys think Tony Gilroy will be invited to lead other shows, to run other series, write other Star Wars projects? We're seeing how part of the reception for Andor, I know it hasn't necessarily gotten as much viewership as these other shows, but I hope that they can see that part of the reason people like it is because of the writing. Do you guys think that's a possibility at all, or do you think he's going to want to be like, nope, I'm out after Andor?
You want to take this? I don't know if he's going to want to, because he's not a Star Wars fan. If they pay him a lot of money, he probably will, but
I mean, most writers, at least from this is what I've seen from the writers that I've met. Alan Dean Foster's a good example, is they don't really give a shit about the money. They just do it if they like it, right? And if he doesn't like it, I think one thing that Tony has always wanted to do is do something in Star Wars different from Star Wars, right? And that's kind of why he did it. I think I can't imagine him agreeing to do it again. Honestly, if he does, great. I'm
Yeah.
all on board with it, but I cannot imagine him doing another thing with Andor, which would suck because if it comes down to where it's like, oh, they have a different writer for this for the second season or something, or they have to do rewrites because he just was like, I don't want to do it anymore, and then it just is like
Oh
completely
God,
different.
no! Could you imagine? Oh,
Imagine,
sweet lord.
yeah, imagine it's like a completely different show, and we're just like,
Yeah.
we got Joby Harold to write season 2
yeah.
of Andor.
It's like after saying how much of a success Obi-Wan Kenobi was, let's just fucking throw him in there and he can write it. And they were like, you idiots, god damn it. But whatever. I mean, some people love that show, so it's all good. Let's get back to
it's
Bad
all
Batch. Okay,
perspective.
so Zach made a good point. Theory said this was the what's the monster called?
The Zillowbees. I want to give
Yeah.
him
Oh my
credit.
God.
He was very like, he's like, this is a loose theory. Like, because I saw, but he titled one of his videos like, oh, this is the Zillow Beast. But in the video, he's like, this is a loose theory. I don't think this is the Zillow Beast. I don't think it's related to the Zillow Beast at all. But
It looks mechanic.
yeah, it looks
It looks like a
pretty...
Trojan horse almost, like
Ooh,
man-made.
imagine if it is. Imagine if it's like the space version of the Trojan horse. It's like a war, it's like a peace offering. And Kat was right this entire time. And we're just like, okay, Kat, what else do you see?
Come
Tell
back
us
to
what
the
you
stream,
see, Kat.
y'all.
Cat's like, I see your death. There you go.
It's not far away. And I'm like, never mind. Don't tell us anything else. Tick.
Omega looks older.
She's got
feel like-
longer hair, right?
Yeah, she's got a different look.
Yeah, she doesn't fuck around anymore. Okay, here we go.
She's no longer Omega.
Ooh.
She's Alpha.
She's alpha. Oh my god, imagine.
Cody.
Yeah.
Cross hair.
I literally can't play anything because it's like
That's all right.
bleh. I just missed his voice. I had to hear it really quick.
Mike Pence.
Oh my God.
I missed Mike Pence's voice. I had to hear
I
it.
forgot about that.
They're traitors, just like the Jedi.
That was a cool transition.
Yes. Oh. I hope this season's dark. You know, episode 1 of season 1 was like, it set a tone,
So
and I was like,
good.
oh my gosh. Yes, I hope this season gets a little bit darker. Like, it started dark and then didn't really tap back much into that until the finale. But I hope that this one, as they're more on the run here, like hopefully more run-ins with the Empire. I don't know. The time period with the other clones starting to question themselves, perhaps. Like, I hope so.
That first episode was such a catfish because we were all like, this is incredible.
Yeah.
Like, this is
It
how we
was like
want
the
the
best thing I'd
follow-up.
ever seen.
Yeah. Like, this is exactly how they needed to follow up the Clone Wars. That it's like literally one episode later. Oh, it's like this.
Yeah, it's like that episode was like the whole show, and then everything else was like, here's like behind the scenes, right? And that's kind of how I felt for a lot of it. There are some good moments, but I think this is going to be a lot quicker pace. There's going to be a lot more happening because they're all established at this point, right? So
Yeah.
it's going to be nice.
And I keep forgetting they're still
Ooh,
like,
a clone uprising. Yeah, that would.
yes.
Yeah.
Like, that would be maybe not this season. Weren't we all thinking about that last season and then
Yeah.
didn't happen?
Well,
but
here's the thing. Something needs to happen that like breaks Rex's spirit, I think, because he seems right now like he's willing to fight the Empire, but by the time Rebels rolls around, he's very much like,
we're tired.
nope, I'm living in this desert planet with my walker and my buds. Like, I don't care about the Empire. And then they have to like coax him back into it. So something's got to happen, right?
Mm. Oh, I wonder.
All that
Something
caffeine.
does probably have to break his spirit. You're right. I was gonna say it might have potentially something to do with Ahsoka, but I'm sure nothing. Like, she's Fulcrum. I don't think she like cuts ties with Rex in order to become Fulcrum. I don't know. That's a good point.
Maybe the clone uprising fails and it gets crushed, and he's like, I just got a lot of my brothers killed. I'm gonna peace out.
Oh yeah. Perhaps.
Zach, is this the same Wookiee Jedi from Clone Wars? Like
I
with
think
Yeah.
so.
what's his face?
Yeah.
It is the
He-
same
Gunji.
one.
He's in the arc where they go to Ilum and
Yeah.
get their
Okay, it is
lightsaber
that one.
crystals.
It is
Yeah.
that one. Okay. It's Ilum, right? Not Ilum.
It's Ilum, not Ilum,
Remember?
as I
I
learned the
remember that.
hard way.
Yeah. Everyone's like,
Oh.
"Fuck you, Zach."
Yeah, so people were like, "Go fucking die! You don't know how to pronounce this word." It's like, Jesus Christ.
That's why I never attempt to dive into the lore or any sort of Star Wars encyclopedia information because that's the retaliation you will be met
It's
with.
brutal, Cat. You would have thought that I just said like I love like I don't like the Nazis or something. Like I just mispronounced a word. Like, it's insane.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh, wait.
Oh,
Yeah.
Then we get the man himself.
Papa Palpatine.
Yep.
That's the
Fake
only
fan.
shot we see.
Chat, let's get hashtag fake fan going in the chat.
Ilum.
Oh my
Ilum.
God.
I really think it sounds better as Ilum anyway. So
It's Sheev.
Ilum?
Thanks,
Ilum
bro.
sounds like a medication.
shit, it's Sheev.
The ultimate violation in Star Wars.
God forbid.
Too bad Chewbacca has a son in canon because I would have loved it. Gungi was his son, to be
Aw.
honest.
If
That
Gungi
would've been
dies,
fun.
we riot.
What was our? Didn't we have like a bunch of really crazy predictions for the first season and none of them happened?
Yes, literally every
Probably.
week we would
We
meet
should-
up.
Well, when does this show come out? When did it say?
January?
Don't worry about it.
Oh my God.
That's
Yeah.
that's
January.
what we do to Zach. I mean, that's what we
January
do to Kat.
4th.
Okay, so next week we need to have predictions.
Oh, sweet Lord.
So then we can look back and be like, did we say anything right, or was this just a big disappointment again?
That's what happens to me every time I go back and rewatch one of my prediction videos for like Rise of Skywalker, Game of Thrones final season. Like
my
I made a
God.
prediction video for
Yeah.
Bad Batch and like
You poor thing.
nothing comes true. In fact, I've stopped making them because I just speak it into existence and then the universe hears me and it's like, we're going to do the antithesis of everything that she just spoke. So I
The
for my own
Trost
sake.
one was the worst because everyone was like, this is going to be the one that saves it. We're all excited. We're going to see this and this and this and this, which is obviously the wrong way to look at it in the first place. But I mean, God, it was.
I
like-
will say though, I do get carried away and I stray from reality at times because in my The Rise of Skywalker predictions video, I mentioned like the ghost of Qui-Gon Jinn would come back. So like I get a little far fetched, but
I mean, I feel like that's reasonable. Like when we
it's not
saw,
too much.
Should have happened.
yeah. I mean, that's not
That-
one of those weird ones, like because like all the Jedi were supposed to be there. We're supposed to see all of them at that end part, as the edit implied, right, on YouTube that guy made, and I was just like,
True.
why wasn't that there? It's not a budget thing. Maybe they were like, this is too much. We don't need to do it. Whether it was a time constraints thing, because we did have this conversation where there is a big problem with VFX artists and the time they're given to actually do their art, right? So maybe there was a time crunch and they didn't do it, which would be even more devastating because if it was in the pipeline and they just didn't do it because of time constraints, that's fucking awful. But I mean, whatever.
That movie, I don't want to like get into the weeds on this, but like I just want to say this. That movie was like the most soulless Star Wars project I've ever seen in my entire life. Like it felt like no one cared about it, like that we're working. It felt like they were just going through the motions the entire time. With the exception of like Daisy Ridley. She seemed like she was trying, but everybody else was like,
I mean, she is just very beautiful too, so it was really easy to watch those films because of
Did
her.
y'all actually see? She actually just recently, I think, returned to like social media, and she posted, I believe, on her Instagram story that she was at Lucasfilm in San Francisco. So people are theorizing what that could be about.
what a post to come back. Like,
I know.
just like, let me
I know, like,
provoke all the people who
let
hate
me
me.
let me just make them hate me worse. No, it's funny because I was thinking maybe they're gonna do like Tales of the Jedi, like with Rey. Maybe they're gonna do something like that.
I would
or
freaking frick with
or
that.
We're gonna
I
see
would
more
like
of that in animation. Maybe it's what I'm thinking. If they're gonna go like more films after the sequels, and they're just gonna keep building off of like the sequel trilogy, I mean, so be it. That's what we're gonna have to deal with. It makes sense because it seems like everything they do is leaning towards a sequel trilogy. I don't know why they do that. The only logical reason that we've talked about time and time again is maybe they don't own the IP like Rings of Power does with
Oh
the Hobbits, right?
God.
Maybe they actually can't say certain things or sell certain things. That would be far fetched and weird. But like that's my only logical reasoning for why they just keep straying so far from anything that we know.
Well, it's
But
this. I think it's just got to be stubbornness. Like this is their thing that they made, and
stubbornness is a good thing too. Yeah.
they want to perpetuate that further. I'm all for the rehabilitation of Rey's character. I just don't think they should do it yet. Like give us like 5 years, and then make sure you really have a good idea. Make sure you have a really good project, and bring her back, and I'd be okay with it. Like
I was gonna say I would definitely. I'm actually really excited by the prospect of post sequel content if they were to like
Fair enough.
do things with Finn's character, for example, or like Janna, like focus more on those people whose storylines didn't get the treatment they deserved necessarily in the sequel trilogy. Like, even if they were to touch on it going forward, or like have more of like Rey and Finn doing a Jedi Academy or something like that. Like, I'm excited by the prospect of what there is for the future if they could come up with something original and not just have the First Order came back, like stuff like that. I mean, I'm sure it would be
yeah,
similar to like what we see in Mandalorian. Like, there's still people from still Imperial people at work, but I don't know. If
I
there's a
think
cool story, I'd be into it. Sorry, go
yeah.
ahead.
No, I think the biggest issue they'll run into is like it's gonna be really hard to redeem the sequels themselves in the way that the prequels have been redeemed by like the Clone Wars and Rebels and stuff, because like there's just not enough time. The sequels did not take place over the course of years. It was like I think like it took a year total for those 3 movies to happen. So
No.
yeah, it was like yeah, the first 2 happened like within a week of each other, and then it was like a year later, and then the third one
Oh,
happened.
oh. I'm stupid. Ignore me. I thought you were saying like I'm so stupid. I wasn't fully listening. I'm sorry. I thought you meant that they were all made within a year. I was
No,
like, wait,
no,
what?
it felt like it at times, but
Sorry.
I
Continue.
I feel like they're gonna be starting definitely behind the 8 ball if they do try to do anything. Because I mean, obviously, like a ton of people hate the sequels. They'll always hate anything to do with the sequels, but um, it's just gonna be. I'm always gonna look back on the sequels, no matter how good the next project with Rey is, and I'm gonna think I literally don't care about those movies, which sucks, but it's the nature of the beast.
Yeah, I think everyone's right giving it some time as well, because a lot of the younger generation that has grown up here with the sequels now will be older and they'll be like, I don't know,
Yeah,
watching more stuff.
I really don't think it's gonna be like a prequel experience, right? Where the people who grew up maybe watching the sequels are gonna think they're like the greatest thing. I mean, I want to be proved wrong. Maybe
Wait, are you
I will learn to love
Oh,
it, but
yeah.
I don't think they're gonna think, wow, these are the ones that I grew up with. I like these more than everything else, right? But I mean, we'll see. On that note, I think we had a lot of news. We're excited about Survivor, which I don't know if we're gonna stream or not. We are excited
You have
um
to. You promised me.
for
You set
Bad
our
Batch.
expectations high. You can't come on
I
here
want I want to
posting
see
like
you.
that.
I want to see you play it blindfolded.
Yeah.
Or maybe we'll do like edited videos, not necessarily live stream.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I can
That would be cool.
yeah,
Show
I
your
could do that
highlights.
too. I might need to get a new PC actually, because I don't have the best graphics card, and it's a laptop so that I can work anywhere, and that's gonna cause some problems probably. It barely played Lego Star Wars at the highest frame rate.
Oh God.
Oh.
But Lego Star Wars needed a lot of shit. Like, it was surprising. Like, for like the highest graphics, it needed a lot. So we'll see. Story breakdown chat. Yeah, we could do that too. I want to be able to do something with gaming. I don't know if it's on this channel or another channel. We'll find out. We'll figure it out. But I am excited
Start
for
a
Bad Batch though.
Twitch. We should start a Twitch.
I know, with the moment we start it, Twitch goes like bankrupt.
Oh.
they're like They're like too many Star Wars fucking YouTubers decided to start a Twitch, and yeah, and they were like doing donations directly instead of just doing it on the platform itself, and we just lost all of our money. And I was like, yeah, sorry about it, but
Sorry, Twitch.
I don't know, we'll see. I do love YouTube more than Twitch, like by a lot.
I've never even been on Twitch in my entire life.
Yeah, I like the YouTube interface a lot more. You can't really be discovered on Twitch. You have to already have a following, so we would have to migrate everyone here over to a new platform, and that's really fucking hard. So I don't know. We'll figure it out. Yes, AD gaming is something that I was gonna do for like the past 4 years now. I was gonna do that. I just don't game enough variety and enough at all to really make it make sense. But I mean, if there's gonna be an influx of Star Wars games coming, maybe. I don't know. I'm more intrigued with the film industry side of things as of late. So Mario Kart is always fun though, Sal.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, we could all play some Mario Kart actually. That would be pretty fun.
Hunt some ghosts, Phasmophobia too.
Yeah, like once Shorts gets monetized, we just send Kat a Switch and we just all play it.
Oh my gosh.
That
would be fun.
But anyway, on that note, I think we're a little over. Thanks everyone who tuned in. We will be here next Thursday, and I think, do you guys want to do a watch party for Bad Batch?
Yeah,
we should. It was fun last time.
I think it's going to be a really good season, so I think we should do it this year.
I agree.
Or next year. Holy shit!
Yeah, January.
It's already
going to
be
away.
2023. That's nuts.
I'll see you guys next year.
I hate all of you. I'm going to take a year off.
Stop it. Oh god.
But anyway, I'll do a quick shout out. Thanks to Stanley's, Charlie, Nick, A21, Andrew. Aiden wasn't here for a second. He's probably not here anymore. We don't have Alice.
Yeah, no Alice. Where's our queen?
I hate her so much right now because she's not here.
Alice, we love you if you're watching this as a replay.
Ronnie Law. Have we ever seen this person?
No.
I don't think so.
But he seems cool.
Yeah, I think we can accept him into the Evil Ewok podcast. I like him very much now. But anyway, thanks everyone. Barbara's Basement too.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys next week.